Good morning. The Northeast Youth Group praised Tinubu for sacking the service chief, but said it's not enough. Do you agree that the real problem lies within the office of the National Security Advisors?
Thank you for having me. I must tell you that personally I acknowledge that the president is the president and the commander of the armed forces. So by so saying, he reserve right to hire and fire the service chiefs. I want to say that it is a team. All the service chiefs work in collaboration. However, the position of the National Security Advisor is sensitive because he supersedes everything that has to do with security on behalf of the president. So we're going to say that if once the person occupying that office is not efficient, it's going to reflect in the way and manner security is being managed in the country. However, I want to believe that we give the man who is currently occupying the office some benefit of doubt. Hence, we have seen another new breath of fresh blood in all the positions of the service chiefs. But I want to say that going forward, if the man is not able to deliver, the Tinubu should train the way out of that office. But as Nigerians, what we are yearning for is a society that is well policed, a society that is well policed to the extent that Nigerians can sleep with their eyes closed. I want to tell you that personally, I'm not comfortable with the current situation where you see in some part of the country, kidnapping has become order of the day, talking about Zamfara, Katsina, and even Plateau, even Kwara. I will tell that the president, the governors, and even the local government chairman must, as a matter of urgency and necessity, come together to acquire monopoly of collective power to smoke these bandits out of the hiding places, set them running, and bring them to justice. To answer your question directly, the position of the National Security Advisor is sensitive, but let us give the current occupier of that office some benefit of doubt. But I want to say that going forward, if there are lapses, encourage Mr. President to sack him.
Thank you. Many Nigerians believe security failure starts from poor coordination among agencies. What specific reform should Tinubu introduce in the NSA office to make the security system truly effective?
I think if you are looking at strategies introduced into the office of the National Security Advisor, it has to do with intelligence gathering, and secondly, it has to do with technology. I say it with every sense of responsibility. You understand that currently we have seen a former House of Assembly member from Borno State who came out recently to emphasize that in 2015, when a Jonathan government postponed the election for 2 weeks, that Jonathan government brought the machineries who were living on technology to decimate Boko Haram, and that they were doing excellently well. But unfortunately, when the Buhari came in, he jettisoned the idea, sent the packet. So in a nutshell, what I said is that we need to liberate our technology to fight this insurgency. More so, as the current governor of Zamfara State have come out recently to emphasize that his own capacity as a governor, that they are able to acquire some level of technology that enables you to know monitor the location and movement of bandits. He was lamenting about his inability to command the security architecture to operation. If you look at what came from the governor of Borno recently, talking about Babagala Zulu, he would emphasize that Boko Haram are currently using drones to attack the military. So to be quite honest with you, the major issue is we must, as a matter of urgency and necessity as a country, acquire monopoly of coercive power. That we cannot overemphasize, because the idea of having monopoly of coercive power is what makes the government ultimate. Having done that, we must leverage on technology to fight this insurgency. And I think the other one has to do with devolution of power to the states. And I want to believe that the federal government approach of forest guard have come to do that. Because you understand that currently the governors go by the name of the governors and the chief executives of the respective states. However, they do not command the security architecture in their respective states. We have seen in the past where governors were lamented about their inability to command the security architecture in their respective states. Just like I cited the Zamfara State governor recently. So I'm of the view that the forest guard initiative of federal government, that these states that are heavily ravaged by security should jump at it. Talking about states like Zamfara, Katsina, Plateau, Kwara, they should jump at this with the speed of light.
The youth call this sack a historic step, but also a half reform. Do you think this action will lead to real change, or is it just another political move?
People are giving it different interpretation. But for me, it can be political. But even when it is political, are we seeing fresh blood? Yes. Are we seeing some level of transparency in terms of, are we seeing some level of spread? Yes. You may say it is lopsided to an extent, but I can tell you that if you look at some strategic position occupied by persons from some other regions, you agree with me that we have seen some level of spread. For instance, the chief of naval staff currently is from Nasarawa local government area of Kano State, a Northerner. The man in charge of national intelligence is from, of course, the local government area of Cross River State. The man in charge of effort is from Enugu. I understand that the other man is from Kogi. I understand that Ogun,
that's
in a way, yes. No, I'm not talking about Anata. What are the chiefs?
Okay.
I understand that in a way, Ogun prominently featured in more than other states. But I want to say that we have seen almost all the major ethnic groups being recognized and being given position in terms of serviceships. I want to say that this is like a paradigm shift from what we used to see under Muhammadu Buhari. Remember that under Muhammadu Buhari, when they talk about 17 positions, the North virtually took 17. No, the North took 14. Leaving those about 3 or 4 for the whole South. It even got to a point where some stakeholders in the South had to drag Buhari to court, demanding for damages of up to 5 billion naira. But as well as it, the Buhari is no longer in the system, we have another president. But I want to say that when it comes to issue of security, we must support the government to fight bandits. I say with every sense of responsibility because I saw a picture recently where bandits came out to negotiate with communities in Zamfara State. You can clearly see someone who is combined, who is a foreigner. From the hair, from the skin, from the color, you can clearly see that this is not in Nigeria. So it points to the fact that these people, from where they are bringing them, they are hibernating in the bush in form of their emirs, recruiting Nigerians who are foot soldiers fighting on their behalf. So that is why we must, as a people, as a government, support government to urgently and quickly deal with this issue. Because if you remember what came from the other retired military intelligence officer recently, that the ultimate aim of those who sponsor terrorism is to Islamize Nigeria. And this they do every day. Don't forget that under Muhammadu Buhari, you had a situation where United Arab Emirates released some names to the government talking about sponsors of Boko Haram or terrorism generally. Now, is it not even surprised that as we speak, but I want to say that the ultimate thing is once we start seeing results in terms of decimating Boko Haram, ISWAP terrorist members and Saudi terrorist members, name them. That is when the man on the street will know that the president is getting it right. So what I'm trying to say in essence is, I think going forward, Mr. President should bring a benchmark, and periodically he should do appraisal of all the people occupying all these sensitive positions, so that let them know that anyone that refuses to perform will be fired. Once they have that at the back of their mind, I want to tell you that going forward, they will start performing.
Thank you. Last question. From your perspective, what message does this youth coalition statement send about the growing impatience of Nigerians, especially national youth, toward the government handling of insecurity?
I think it sent a clear message that Nigerians cannot wait. That Nigerians want their lives and properties protected. And more so, as Section 14, Section 2B of 1999 Constitution as amended is very clear that the welfare of the people and their security shall be primary purpose of governance. Even as the president, the governors, and even the local government chairmen have in their respective capacities sworn an oath to protect lives and property of Nigerians. So I want to say that it's a clear message that Nigerians can no longer wait. That hence it belongs on you to protect lives and property, that you must do without delay. And going forward, I want to believe that Nigerians as well should stand on their feet and ensure that their power to hire and fire when it comes to voting become potent. If that become potent, the government going forward will start listening to them when they ask them to protect us.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir. I bless you. I bless you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.